I feel like putting my arms up here feels rude somehow. You just put them down, put them up. I don't know.
I need a hand at least.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna start that.
Yeah.
My name's Jake Wartooth, and this is Kayla Squigelf.
Hi.
Today, I wanted to make a video about Metalocalypse. It's the makeup and the t-shirts.
Yeah.
And soon to be the nail polish. Metalocalypse is a cartoon on Adult Swim that's about a metal band called Death Clock that are the biggest band in the whole world. The world's economy revolves around Death Clock releasing albums and doing tours.
Death Clock is still the most popular force on Earth. They are now the 7th largest economy in the world. We believe that the world is now completely dependent upon Death Clock.
The comedy lies within the members and all of their weird eccentricities. So there's 5 members of Death Clock. There's Squizgar. He's the lead guitarist. He's literally the best guitarist in the world. Heavily implied to be half god. He's Swedish, and he talks with a really stupid, bad, fake Swedish accent.
Okay, everyone says on this page that we got to cut out them carbohydrates.
And he's blonde, like Kayla. Kayla's a natural blonde, if you couldn't tell.
Obviously.
Then there's Toki Wartooth, not a bumblebee. He's the rhythm guitarist.
He's a pretty tragic character. Like, he's the only character to have anybody he cares about die. The only one.
Toki Wartooth has become a messenger of death. Everything he touches with his love will die.
He's like the sweet guy of the group. Like, kids like him, but he's also pretty unhinged. Definitely got his issues.
That's it, you mother... I'm kicking your ass! You long, stupid asshole! I'll kill you! Shut up!
Yeah, all of Death Clock has baggage.
Yeah.
William Murderface is the bassist. His whole thing is he's really ugly and nobody likes him. He's kind of the heel of the band and everyone shits on him.
Yeah. His dad murdered his mom and then himself with a chainsaw.
And now I kill myself!
They just shit on Murderface a lot, really. It's not that, like, it's undeserved. He's a
Yeah.
tragic character. They're all tragic in a way.
They are. A huge thing for Nathan is he's like... Oh wait, we're not talking about Nathan.
Yeah, we're talking about Murderface.
Yeah. Forgotten, just like bassists are.
He talks really stupid with a lisp. He's got a gap in his mustache and in his teeth.
Seriously, chewy.
He's great. We all love him. My favorite character, personally.
Growing up, I did not like Murderface. He's an asshole. But he's really funny. He's a funny character.
You get some on your shirt right there.
I do.
Blammo! Ow.
And it's funny when they shit on him.
He plays bass with his wiener.
Yeah. And women hate him. He's in the most famous band in the world. He has so much money and nobody will have sex with him. He's an incel.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Pickles the drummer. Doodly doo. Ding dong. Doodly doodly doo. Pickles, he's funny. He's honestly probably one of the funniest characters to me.
What's this place called?
This is, I believe, called food libraries. Food
library.
It's called a grocery store, you douchebags! I'm sorry about douchebags. I got low blood sugar.
He's from Wisconsin, so he talks like that all the time.
They all have silly voices.
Yeah, it's a thing. He's an alcoholic and a heavy drug user.
Well, there's that. But, guys, I gotta direct this all back to me for a second, okay? Look. A doctor jacked me off in his face, and the more I think about it, the less okay I am with it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go make this right.
He used to be in a
glam rock band.
Yeah, like Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Or, no, I think it's Guns N' Roses specifically
Yeah,
they're making fun of. Snakes and Barrels.
Yeah, definitely.
They were known as Snakes and Barrels, a tough group of rock thugs from the wrong side of the tracks, with a ravenous madman at the forefront, a man simply known as Pickles, who eventually became the legendary percussionist for Death Clock.
Pickles, he's balding and he has red dreadlocks and he like has a shitty dreadlock comb over to cover his bald head.
Even when he has like no facial hair and it's supposed to be showing that they're young, he still has like that bald comb over with his dreadlocks. A running gag is his dreadlocks like falling out. Like Murderface found one in his like his food. It was like clogging up their hot tub.
I found one of your dreads in the hallways. Do you want it back?
Yeah, guess so.
Oops. Drops it in my cups of coffees.
Nathan Explosion is the death metal singer. Nathan's pretty much the leader of the bunch. You know him well. And he's finally back to kick some tail. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's a Donkey Kong reference.
I was gonna ask if it was Donkey Kong.
He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail.
So Nathan's the lead singer, the front man, the leader. He talks in a really deep voice like this all the time.
And now, the blackest present for the most brutal of all bass players. Nothing.
It's a death metal band, so when he's singing, you can hardly understand what he's saying.
There's literally a line in the show where he's like, yeah, I'll just throw it in there somewhere about a specific word. He's like, no one can understand what I'm saying anyway.
Let's just play this show and get out of here. We got any songs with Destiny in the title?
No. But I can stick it. It doesn't matter. No one can understand what I'm saying anyway.
He's stupid. That's also a thing, is that he didn't graduate. But it's another thing is that he's kind of dumb. But they're all kind of really dumb, to be fair.
They're all pretty dumb. I think worth mentioning when it comes to band members is Oftenson.
Oftensen's their manager. He's pretty cool.
He's their everything.
Yeah, he's a badass. We were watching it at one point, and Jake was like, he's like a super villain.
Yeah.
He totally is.
The job of managing Death Clock is more than just booking gigs. It's like running an entire country because they have so many workers behind the scenes called the Clocketeers.
Welcome to the Death Clock Employee Branding Room. This is where we come and burn your skin with metal. Welcome aboard! Let's make sure those necks are straight and those strings are tuned here at the Gibson Assembly Room. Tweedledee!
And there's more Clocketeers than there are people in small countries just taking care of Death Clock and protecting them. Oftenson is in charge of all of the Clocketeers. He's like Dr. Evil or something. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's super smart.
He figures everything out whenever the band fucks something up. He's pretty sick.
Sir, your new assistant manager has arrived.
Very well.
Sir, I'm 5720.
You've been trained, fully vetted, and former identity erased. Your life will be at risk daily, etc. And you should know that all my previous assistants have died long, painful deaths.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I feel like he gets some great moments to shine throughout the show, too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially in season finales, the best episodes of the show. I feel like I'm having trouble, I'm so excited to talk about this show because it's so funny and I want more people to watch it. I feel like some people might get caught up on thinking you need to understand a lot of metal to get into it.
Definitely not.
And that's not the case. There's no bar set at all. Anyone could watch it and enjoy it. I think being a metal fan enhances it because they are actually a good metal band. The metal songs in the show fucking rock.
I got into Metalocalypse when I was 10 or 11. You think I was a heavy metal fan when I was 10 or 11? After I watched Metalocalypse, I was, but...
I was a metal fan at 9.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm fucking around.
Things I specifically remember in my childhood from my parents is Slipknot, Korn, Hatebreed. So when I was 10 or 11, I got into Metalocalypse. You really don't need to understand metal to get into it.
I think it's not exactly high concept comedy. It's pretty low brow kind of stuff. But
a lot of what's funny about the show is that the main characters are assholes. Asshole things they do is funny.
Yeah, kind of It's Always Sunny. We should make a video on It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be Green Man.
Fuck yeah.
There's a handful of shows that are pretty close comedy-wise to Metalocalypse. I think Frisky Dingo comes pretty close, but Frisky Dingo's just way more absurd. Maybe kind of Archer, especially in the animation style. It's kind of very...
It's stiff.
The animation's kind of stiff. But it's not like you're there to watch amazing animation. You're there to experience the comedy. It's just such a fucking great show, and it's such a great band too.
Yeah.
There's also an overarching plot which is interesting that at the end of every season pretty much it hints at more of what's going on behind the scenes with the band and their place in the world and stuff like that.
cosmic destiny.
Yeah. So that stuff's really interesting.
I really do like the plot-driven episodes. There's not a lot. Like, it's kind of hinted at things just because there's, like, a government organization that watches them, and they're introduced in the very first episode.
The Tribunal.
And they're led by just kind of a mysterious guy, but obviously runs the show.
Their leader's just a giant old man.
And no one knows what the fuck is going on with him for a really long time. And the first season finale, you're like, oh, there's something really weird going on with this guy.
The plot-driven episodes are fucking sick. Almost every episode has a Death Clock performance, and if not, they have one of the members singing their own introspective song. And all of the music is pretty good, either because it's super, super funny, or it's just really, really good metal music. Which is surprising, because most of the fucking music was just thrown together, like programmed drums and shit. Like, there's just one guy who threw it all together for the show, and then afterwards he went and recorded an album based on what he made for those episodes. Yeah. So that's pretty crazy.
And he's also the guy who created the show.
Yeah, that guy, Brendan Small. It's impressive what he's able to pull off.
This show is not, like, PC at all. There's a whole episode revolving around racism, but that's really the only time racism gets brought up. We were saying earlier, Murderface is, like, misogynistic. They're all stupid, white, fucking trillionaires.
I feel like most of the places where the show hasn't aged well were satirical.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I don't think it's representative of, like, any malice or anything like that, but it is still, like, some touchy stuff. It was made in the fucking early 2000s, you know?
Yeah, I don't think it was ever, like, actually...
intending to be offensive for the sake. I mean, aside from like the murder and mayhem and
there's
people
a lot of
dying, but that's played for laughs. That's not just gore for the sake of it. Like it's comedic because it's so ridiculous.
There are people who don't like shows even if it's like a satirical fucking anything like that, you know?
Yeah.
But like they're not heavy on it ever, you know, with their like it's not overly offensive humor ever.
South Park goes way beyond anything
Metalocalypse
ever did.
Yeah.
They also wear makeup and paint their nails black.
Nathan's the only one who paints his nails.
Really?
Yeah.
No one else does?
Mm-mm.
General content warning for people out there. There's lots of blood and murder and gore, guts. There's some touchy subjects in the show. Fucking molestation and pedophilia and stuff like that. There's a rock and roll clown. I'm not gonna go too much into him.
He does cocaine.
He does cocaine.
He does cocaine. I'm afraid that's all we know.
Well, unluckily for us Death Clock fans, the show just kind of ended for reasons I won't get into, and you can look up yourself. It was just kind of left without an ending after they literally made a full-on fucking musical for like the first half of the end of the show, you know?
It's cut off pretty abruptly.
They were leading into some other big important shit happening, and it just kind of ended. So that sucked. Yeah. And when did that happen? Fucking 8 years ago or something?
Yeah, so long ago.
With no conclusion, which kind of sucks for all the people who enjoy the show. For a while, the only thing to like feed the empty mouths of the fans was Brendan Small's solo project Galacticon and Galacticon 2, which are pretty much just 2 extra Death Clock albums. But recently, it's been announced that there's going to be a Metalocalypse movie that takes place directly after the Doomstar Requiem, which is the aforementioned musical. So we're finally 8, 9, maybe 10 years later, whenever this fucking movie comes out, getting a conclusion to Death Clock's story. So that's exciting. If by the time I post this video, there's a date out for the Metalocalypse movie, I'll throw it up. I'm happy to help promote Death Clock in any way, even though we have no following as of yet.
We're actually going to try and get a following just so we can post this video and get Metalocalypse more fans.
Yeah, that's all we want.
That's our sole reason of making YouTube videos.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care about the money. We don't need your money. Just want to see the world change. No, seriously. We would die for Death Clock instantly.
When I was younger, I wanted to get the gear tattoo that they
I still want to get the gear tattoo.
I wouldn't get it on my neck.
I'll get it on my neck.
That's sick.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Let's do it.
Yours.
It's fucking funny. It's one of the funniest shows I've seen.
It's so quotable, too.
It's quotable as fuck. We quoted it all the time after only watching it once. It's fucking still say too drunk and shit.
Cinnamon buns.
Stops copies me.
Stops copies me. It's just fun. I love that show.
The scale of the band is so ridiculous, and every show they perform, people die in the most like cartoonishly like horrific ways, and it's friggin' hilarious.
Like, the band does not care.
Yeah, they have no reaction. They hate
Yeah.
their fans is also an ongoing thing, so not surprising that they don't care when fans die. Don't know how they're as popular as they are when, most of their fans die during their concerts.
I mean, I feel like I know, but...
Do you folks like coffee?
They poured scalding hot coffee onto the crowd, and it burnt and killed people.
Do you folks like coffee?
They signed pain, like, in death waivers before going into the concert.
They're called pain waivers. Fans are literally signing their life away, releasing Deathclock from any and all liability.
Well, I got tore out and force-fed to me at a show. Deathclock rule! In London, some dude chopped off my fingers and threw them up on stage. Murderface rolled them up and smoked them! Murderface!
And the fans are so stupid, they just listen to anything Deathclock says. The Go Into the Water song, at some point in the show, they're getting sued because fans were injured trying to breathe water. So I feel like they have a reason to hate their fans.
Go into the water, live there, die there. And my clients all tried to breathe water and nearly died because of this underwater album by your band Deathclock.
Why don't you go breathe underwater?
All the death vehicles.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
The death copter and the death train and
the murder cycle.
With all the sidecars.
What they regularly drive around with in the show when it's just the 5 members. Nathan drives the motorcycle and then there's 2 sidecars on each side. And they all have like their own little designated sidecar.
What always cracks me up in the intro is just how all of their arms are sitting in the fucking... in their sidecars. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. They just like can't die also. I feel like that's just a thing throughout the show. It's plot armor for sure. With all the like mayhem and crazy things that happen around them, they just don't die.
I want to speak on behalf of the band, right guys? We talked about this, and I want to put it out there and say, we can't die. All right?
Guys, you aren't gonna die.
I was specifically thinking of when Murderface's face slides across the pavement for like a fucking mile.
The show's got a lot of heart too. You care a lot about the characters. And more than you think you would for how fucking dark it seems.
And for how like assholey they are.
They do care about each other, but they think it's not metal. Express it outright. Also, there's live Deathclock performances every once in a while, which is pretty sick. I mean, they did tour when the show was running, but since it's been canceled, they've only done 1 show, I think.
Mm-hmm. I have seen Deathclock. I saw them in 8th grade, and I saw them at a festival. It was so lucky because it was the only venue where Megadeth didn't make it, so Deathclock took their place as the headliner.
I would much rather see Deathclock than Megadeth.
Definitely.
We watched it again recently on HBO Max, which if we convinced you to watch it at all of it's on HBO Max in pretty good quality, so that's cool.
My flex is this shirt is from like middle school also. My dad bought it for me when the 2nd season came out.
I don't think there's official Deathclock merch you can buy.
I don't think anymore.
This was just something off Amazon or something, huh?
This shirt was from Hot Topic, and it's like better quality shirt than most Hot Topic shirts are, so.
We're just here to talk about shit we like.
Go watch Metalocalypse.
Stream Metalocalypse. Send Brendan Small all of your money.
If you think you don't like metal, you're wrong. When you hear Deathclock, you'll change your mind.
Now we gotta do videos about Brutal Legend.
I love Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend's a pretty cool game.
Yeah, get that hyped up too, so they'll make a 2nd one.
Metal's so disrespected.
It really is. These are just such solid things to me. And I guess because I grew up with them also, I feel like really passionate about it.
It's not just like nostalgia that
makes them good.
Makes them good. Like, Brutal Legend's great, Metalocalypse is great. It's funny. Watch funny show.
It's great for all ages.
Show it to your 9 and 10-year-olds.
Yeah, they'll come out like me.
Let them know the importance of metal. It's the end.
Get back.
Leave the video running. Replay it. Comment. Like it. Show it to your friends. Show it to your enemies. Tie your enemies up to a chair and force them to watch this video on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And then steal their money and go buy Deathclock albums.
Yeah.
Which you can't do because they don't sell them anymore. You have to buy them secondhand.
Buy them from scalpers, I guess.
Yeah. I hope they re-release the albums. That would be so fucking sick.
Yeah, it's been a bitch to try and fucking replace them after my dad ruined them.
Go watch Slender.
And then
Give the creator of Slender all of your money.
And then come back and tell us how much you fucking hated it.
And if you're feeling angry about Slender, listen to Death Clock and you'll feel better. Go Into the Water is one of my favorite songs.
Me too.
Not even just by Death Clock, just like
in
general at this point. Go Into the Water is such a good fucking song.
The Gears is one of my favorites too.
Mermaider's so good.
Mermaider 2 is good too.
Hatred Copter, where
Oh,
Pickles sings. Pickles' song in his one episode, it's just a good song.
Yeah, I like that song too. All the music's just great.
Goodbye. Do I look like Chris Motionless? I feel like our hands are gonna look so big. Like,
yeah.
Can you put your hands over my hands so it looks like I have big hands?
We have like the same size hands. It's so funny.
Eccentricities? I don't know how to say that. I'm sweating so bad. Dude, I'll be so sweaty. I wonder how visibly sweaty I'll be in this video. Or if I'm just be talking about it and I look completely normal. Dude, I'm so sweaty. I'm like fucking dying over here. Are you sweating at all? Is it just me?
I'm a little warm.
Look at my sweat on the table.
Oh my god. Your arms are sweating that much?
Yeah, man.
I'm a little sweaty.
I'm sweating all over. I feel my back. Man, it's so hot in here. I just now stopped sweating. I think blowing the candles out worked.
Probably.
Should have done that a while ago.
I didn't think about it. I didn't like anime when I was younger. Because the days that I was allowed to like stay awake and watch TV, like Saturdays were days for anime on Adult Swim, and I was like, no, I want to watch Metalocalypse. This sucks. So I had like a little vendetta against anime for like until I was in middle school.
Squizgar, Squig Elf, Taller Than Tree, Toki, Wartooth, Not William, Murderface, Murderface.
Yeah.
Pickles the drummer, Dooley Doo. Makes an explosion.